Hi, my name is Brittany Alford. I am a wife, I'm a mother, and I'm a lifelong learner. And I'm here at the university as a new media journalism student, hoping to grow my skill sets and connect the dots between my old school journalism skills and what's new and current going on in the industry. So I felt like this program would be a great marriage to that. Um, my background is actually in creative writing as well as public relation journalism. So it's going to be really interesting to see how I integrate all of those pieces together into one very, very unique niche, which I learned about perfecting my niche here as I read the text, which was a great, great takeaway that I'll get into in just a minute. So let's get to it. Became interested in my field of study because I wanted to honestly find a way to make money writing and make money expressing myself. And a little birdie told me as an undergrad, hey, you can learn how to write for fun and being a creative writer, but parlay that around in your journalistic writing. So it stuck with me. So here I am. As we dived into the reading this week, I realized that that particular example of how I got into the field was one of the strategies that the author spoke about in Mastery, which was perfecting your niche or finding a way to occupy the perfect niche. On page 36, one of the approaches really, really took hold of me, which was you occupy your craft and then you find a way to evolve it. Early on, I found my niche in creative writing and public relations. And ever since then, I've been working to perfect it to where I've been expanding it and expanding it and evolving it to where that's my unique identity and nobody can take that away from me. Other strategies that I made mention of are really key in protecting that initial niche. One is in returning to your origins, and another one is understanding how to find your way back. Those two work hand in hand because on page 30, the author makes mention that in order to master a field, you must love the field, love the subject, and feel a profound connection to it. Once you understand what you're passionate about, you understand your connection. And anytime that you lose sight of that connection, you have to be patient enough with yourself to do what the author says as far as finding your way back to it. And that takes time, that takes patience and understanding. But you're understanding how to bridge the gap and get back to the source of where you're passionate in the first place. A few other strategies that spoke to me that the author made mention of is avoiding the false path. On page 37, the author really, really takes a deep dive into what going into the false path looks like and in a roundabout way and journey, how to get back to the place where you're supposed to be in your life's path. Two tips that were made mention of that resonated with me was one in self-realization and understanding that you're on the wrong path. And once you understand you're on the wrong path, get off of that path. The second piece is once you're off that path, rebel as far away from it as you can. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. Rebelling doesn't necessarily mean that you're going totally against the grain of what that path was, but it's taking a leap of faith to pursue what burns in that origin that we just spoke of in the previous strategies. Another key strategy that's made mention of that I felt was golden was really understanding to how to let go of your past. And in rebellion, sometimes you hold on to things that you shouldn't, but that's when you let go of all of the noise and just pursue. But you don't leave the skills that you gained from that. And on page 40, the author talks about don't leave those skills behind, but take your skills with you into the future. That way you can evolve your path even further. In a perfect world, I see myself as an educator, but mostly as a journalist, that I could actually share these tips um, for what your life story is. I have two goals for this class. One, I want to get to know my fellow students and their stories. The other is I want to be able to glean from their stories and take a deeper dive into my own self and use those on the path to my own learning. It was definitely a pleasure to be able to share, and I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you. Thanks.